This is a crash list, and it holds the key to unlocking the craziest secret about motivation and discipline. Is that this little piece of paper is all that you need if you want to stick to your goals. And I'm not joking when I say that I have literally hundreds of these scattered all around my flat. And I use them every day to make sure that I'm building towards a future that I want. The mistake that 99% of people make is that they look at goals in terms of where they want to be in a year or even longer. But they forget to realize that this is all just a result of how you spend your months. And how you spend your months is just a result of how you spend your weeks. How you spend your weeks is really just an average of what you do in your days. And that's a pretty scary thought, because if you're spending your days wasting time and not doing anything that's contributing to your goals, but reassuring yourself that everything will be okay, well, it probably won't be. But fear not, because if you start using crash lists, then you're going to be doing what most people aren't doing, and that's taking actionable steps every day and achieve your goals. So grab a pen, grab a paper, and I'm going to talk you through the 3 ridiculously easy steps to start crash listing. Timestamps are down below and on screen now, but let's get right into it. Now, this might upset a lot of people, but I really think that lots and lots of people mistake being busy for being productive. But these are not the same thing. You don't have to constantly be busy to feel like you're being productive. And this is like the biggest reason why I think that most productivity tips don't actually work for beginners. I'm sure that most of you have heard of the Pareto principle, but if not, I'm going to give you a really quick overview. This is basically the idea that 80% of your results, 80% of what you achieve, is only a result of what you do 20% of the time. So you can actually achieve more by doing less, but it's the quality of the actions that determines the quality of the outcomes, not the amount of time you spend on something. And that is why the crash list works so well. To illustrate this, let me give you an example that I'm sure we can all relate to. If you're studying for a test, then I can almost guarantee that 80% of the preparation you do is not contributing to any of your results. So if you're sat there, you're highlighting through your notes, you're just rereading what you've already read, you're color coordinating your stationery, or you're making your desk look pretty, obviously this isn't actually going to contribute to you passing that exam. What is working is what you're doing 20% of the time and testing yourself on the material of the exam. And once you get the idea straight that it's actually the actions that determines how productive we are and not how busy we are or how much time we spend doing something, then you will already be ahead of 95% of people in the same position you are now. So the point is, we need to be thoughtful about what we do in our days. But how do we do this? Well, that is a result of setting 3 pretty clear goals. And I suggest that if you've never done this before, or if you have set your goals for a while and want to change them or look at redefining what's important to you, you focus on 3 things. The first is a goal that contributes towards your wealth. The second is something that contributes towards your health. And the third is something that contributes towards your mindset. The more specific you are with these goals, the easier it will be to determine what you have to do in your daily crash list. So for me, the 3 goals I have are as follows. I want to continue to build this YouTube channel and build an online presence where I have kind of a trusting community and I can give you guys loads and loads of tips on how to optimize your life. The second thing is a little bit shallow, but I want to continue my health journey, and yeah, by the summer I would like a 6-pack. And the third thing that I want to do is I want to keep developing my mindset in relation to starting businesses, eventually looking towards doing something and working for myself. So they're the 3 things that I'm focusing on. And then each day we put 1 task for each of these goals on our crash list that is going to contribute to the future that we want to achieve. But I want to give you an example of what this actually looks like in action. So I'm going to show you the exact same crash list that I'm using today. And as you can see, the first thing on my crash list is that I would like to go to the gym. And I'm actually going to do this straight after the second thing on my crash list, which is to film a couple of YouTube videos. And the third and final thing on my crash list is to finish the 4th chapter of this pretty cool book by Mark Manson that I'm reading at the minute. And yeah, basically that's what I plan on accomplishing today. Anything else I do is a bonus. But if you still don't know what goals to pick, let me know in the comments and I will make a whole video on the process that helped me realize what I actually want to achieve in my life. Now, the second thing is actually creating the crash list. And it's crucial that you make it in the right way, because if you don't, none of what I'm about to say is actually going to work for you. Now, what you want to do, you want to grab any like normal A4 size piece of paper and fold it in half 3 times. Now this achieves 2 different things. The first is that it is small enough so that you can fit this crash list into your pocket and you can take it with you basically anywhere you go. And this is crucial because it means that as soon as you complete a task, you can tick it off, cross it off straight away. And this gives you a boost in dopamine and it starts this kind of snowball effect of you completing more and more tasks. And I can guarantee you that once you start to see that you can tick off these tasks each and every day, then you're just going to build this amazing snowball of momentum. And then with that, it's going to be so much easier to keep doing everything else on your list. But the second reason the crash list works so well in this kind of format is because it limits you on how much stuff you can actually write. Now, to start with, I recommend that you only focus on 3 things. 1 task for each of your goals. In the last part of the video, I'm going to talk about how you can advance this method once you start accomplishing each of the tasks pretty easily. But trust me, to start with, the less you do, the better this method is going to work out for you. Now, as a kind of final point, I have tried to track my daily tasks online or on my phone. Actually, Ali Abdaal recommends an app called Todoist, which I've used. I used that for about a month, but it's just not anywhere near as effective as having something kind of that you can fit in your pocket, that you can have in your hand, like on you at all times. And I really think that you guys will start to notice a difference if you make that switch from your phone to a piece of paper. Now, the final part of this video is all about how you can start to level the crash list technique up. And this is about advancing the method when you're kind of a pro at it. Now look, the crash list is a productivity method for beginners. To start with, it doesn't matter how you get your tasks done, just that you actually finish them. Now, some tasks might be a lot quicker than others. Let's say you've just got to make a quick 5-minute phone call to somebody. Obviously, that's going to take a lot less time than if you've got to go on an hour-and-a-half run on the weekend. But if you're a beginner, like how I was before I used this method, you've also tried so many productivity tips before. You know, things like time blocking, making your ideal week, the Pomodoro technique. They don't really work for beginners because they focus too much on this concept of time rather than the concept of actions. So even though you might have an idea of what you want to get done, and you might even think that you're being really productive, if you don't have any actions to show at the end of the day for all of your work, you're not actually contributing to your future. However, once you start to nail this technique, you can start to do 2 things to level up the crash list. Now, the first thing is that you can add more tasks. Now, the best way I recommend doing this is getting even more specific with your goals. And what that means is that you'll start to add 2 tasks for each of your goals, and then you'll have 6 tasks on your crash list every day. And the second thing that you can do, if you're still finding this easy, is that you can start to look at how you're spending your time and try and optimize how you complete each task. And this is the time where you start to look at other productivity tips, like I mentioned before, like time blocking, and then you can really look at how you can best fit in those tasks in your day. But remember, to start with, you just want to focus on getting these tasks done. But another way that you can get more things done is just simply by reducing how tired you are in a day. So if you're interested in learning about how you can do that, check out this video here. But before I see you there, make sure you subscribe to the channel where you'll get notified when we release a new video every week, all about how you can waste less time and spend more time doing the things you love. So I'll see you all there.